If you're just joining us or you're just tuning in, I'm Joe and this is Megan, and we're Archery Northwest. I want to tell you a little bit about us and where it all came from. So the Archery Northwest, we just rebranded from our YouTube channel that was our business, which is Archery World, a few months ago. So we did that in hopes to try to grow the knowledge and the response of the customers in the whole entire Northwest to know where their local pro shops are, to support them, to go in and to enjoy the sport of archery, to get that expert knowledge. So we're pretty biased for pro shops, for sure. And it doesn't matter if you live in Oregon or Washington or Idaho, you're gonna have a shop that's not very far from you that's gonna be able to support what you're looking for, hopefully. And we were talking about this just a few minutes ago. One of the things that has been a struggle for any shop owner that's a proprietary business owner or S-Corp or LLC, they're trying to run the business and trying to help everyone that's coming through the door and gain the knowledge they need to stay above everything else in the industry so they can be the experts. So when do they have time to stand in front of a camera? And
It's rare.
Right. We've had a shop for going on 25 years now. We've actually got 4 locations in Oregon and Washington. 1 is in Oregon and 3 are in Washington. And we can't hardly do it ourselves, and we have staff that helps. We're just now in a position where we're thinking, how can we keep this sport alive, grow it for the next generation, show all the different content of the different ranges and the different clubs and the different pro shops in the area, and celebrate them and get you guys into their location. So it's been something that we've been thinking about for more than a decade, and we just have not been able to pull the time aside to do it and run the business correctly.
Sure.
Not like an influencer where their job is to wake up, film, edit, post, and go back about their business. So we're just not that, and we don't want to be that.
The work that we are doing is hopefully employing and providing, quality of life for, 15 employees, in addition to ourselves. So it's not a selfish thing that we're doing by any means. We are really, I think it's taken us this long primarily so that we could, look after our employees first and foremost, and then.
Right. It's just like, we're not trying to keep any industry secrets by not posting videos. We just haven't had the time to do it. So now that we can do that, here's our vision. We want to, throughout Oregon, Washington, and Idaho, go from shop to shop, from club to club, as much as we can possibly do over the next few years, and just celebrate them. And in the meantime, we want to do a ton of reviews, but different than an influencer, and let me explain that. We're not sponsored. We buy product from the manufacturers, and then we resell that product, and we hope that the margins that we make can pay for our overhead and our employees to have everyone have a good lifestyle and a sport that they love and a job that they love. That being said, since we're not influencers per se, we still have shops, and since we have brick and mortar locations, we carry 10 lines of bows. We can pull out 10 lines of bows, 8 lines of bows are the most popular, and we can test them under a certain condition. We just did a video that tested we dubbed it the fastest bows of 2024, which can't include the entire industry, but it included what we stock on the most popular things that have been selling up until that point.
For sure.
It started out with a desire to find out what a person wanted to shoot, so they're test firing a bunch of bows set up in the same configuration, and then we're like, that was pretty surprising, so let's do it again. Now we're gonna do the same thing with sights next, with slider sights. It's a classic Northwest and a classic west of the Rockies sight that you'll see on a lot of bows out here, because the ranges that you shoot are longer. There's a lot of tack shoots and a lot of mountain challenges that take you out there if you just shoot for fun. You can shoot 120 yards at a foam animal, but if you're shooting for hunting, you may take a mule deer shot that's a 60, 70 yard shot, so you have to be able to have a bow that's gonna provide the most accuracy you can.
For sure.
So we want to be able to provide all that information for you, highlighting the shops, telling you who's here locally in this area and that area, wherever we go, and then grow it that way. And at the same time, we want to test products, but not to tell you this is what you should buy because I've got a contract that says I should say so.
Exactly.
I don't have a contract that says you should buy whatever. So that's the question I'll tell you to pose to your influencers out there. Ask them when their contract's up and what contracts they're currently under, and see if you get response. And then they'll say, oh, I shoot it because I love it. But 2 years later, they'll be shooting something else because that contract runs out and the industry's not going to pay more for them, so they'll move on to the next person. Now, in some respects, that needed to happen while there's a void, and at least in the Northwest, we're going to close that void by having the pro shops. We're going to go from shop to shop and have them do videos that they don't have time or the equipment for, and then help them put on their own videos out that they think their customer base wants to see and know too, which will probably benefit you as well.